Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. It's so great to see y'all. I missed y'all. How are you doing? I don't know if you can see, I have Ruby in the background over here. I couldn't position my camera so you can see her. So I think I might just have to lean over like that. Anyway, she's in her favorite dog bed. How are y'all doing? Y'all, I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to come in. Happy everything. You know, today's a really great day. We have the sun, trine, Mars. I'm gonna talk about that for a little bit too, because it's really exciting. And listen, your forecasts are so long these days. I'm trying to be a lot more I feel like this year I've been doing a lot more education. Like I've been teaching astrology at the same time I've been doing your forecast. So I'm gonna pull back on that a little bit because they're just so long. So I don't know if I don't know. They're just so long. I know that they're really long, and I've been working on your forecast for next week, which is or the week of the equinox. And that is just so they were just some of them were up to an hour. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, so that's that. But and I'm still a little under the weather, and you'll notice that some signs will see that where my voice is gone and I'm have a lozenge in my mouth, drinking a lot of water. I have to actually go through, I think it's Aries, I have to actually go through and edit like all of my coughs out. There was a lot of coughing in that one. So and I just don't want to. That was such a good really great one for Aries. But how's everybody doing? Happy eclipse week. Yeah, Cindy, happy eclipse week. I really wanted to talk about that as well. Oh, and I am getting better. So it's just like, whoa, double whammy of a lot that's been going on. So and I actually wanted to do something like really big and special for this one, but I just feel like I'm going to lose my voice by the end of it. So maybe I'll do it at, maybe another one at the end of the month. I'm supposed to go to, Florida to see my family for my dad's birthday, but his birthday's like on the day of the eclipse. I was like, it's a good one though. And, he's in Aries and it's a great eclipse, but Mercury's retrograde or will be next week. So I don't know if that's happening. It just depends on like my health issues. But anyway, why am I blah, blah, blah. So what I don't even remember the point that I was making. So because the sun is trining Mars today, it's such a bigger deal than I made it sound in your forecast. I mean, it is a big deal, and I made it sound like a big deal in the forecast, but it is really truly part of a cycle that started back in November 2023. I don't know if you saw, I did an Instagram post. I don't know if y'all you gotta follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of stories. I've been a little quiet lately on Instagram because I've just been, working with health issues the past this year. So but I did post something, and I did, mention that November the cycle started November 2023. But we'll talk about that later. I just want to see. I'm gonna check in how everybody's doing. I hope everyone's great. Really great weekend. I'm very excited. The one thing about today, the moon is in Cancer all weekend. That's great. We love the moon in Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. It's at home in Cancer. Will be conjuncting Mars though, so just be mindful of that. Okay, that can be a little like come at me bro energy. You're gonna be fine. Y'all are always fine. Because remember, when you've got Mars in Cancer, emotions can be a little heightened. Cancer is a crab. The pinchers can come out a little bit. All right. I wanted to bring up some of those. I want to do some predictions. I just have not been in that really great mental, I haven't been all there because I've just been on a lot of medication. I'm just getting over a cold as well. But the really big thing, so, with the predictions, I have my little book out here. The one thing that I really want to harp on is that I don't know if y'all remember back in August, way back in August, when I said, okay, yeah, there's going to be some things with finances, some shifts with finances, money. Yeah. So that continues to keep coming up. So I just want y'all to be mindful of that there's going to be some shifts. And, it tracks as well with the astrology that's happening with Uranus, that's in Taurus, which is a finance sign. Uranus is got to be pretty active. And of course, with Venus retrograde, that's a big deal because remember, that's for a long time. That's for a long time. Um, and changing signs, flip flopping signs. And Venus is all about money and wealth. So just keep that in mind. Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius is very future forward, future oriented. Pluto's just getting started. Pluto is all about transformation, but like, hey, crypto. So anyway, just keep that in mind. There may be some things that are just changing. We're entering this new era where technology, you've seen AI, all of it, everything's starting to change. It's going to be like lightning speed once we hit the summer. So I can't even. It bears repeating time and time and time and time and time again, and I might do it in every weekly reading. 2025, I cannot even begin to tell you, it's going to be dramatically significant in terms of changes. We haven't even gotten to, so everything starts this month, as you know, and then it really doesn't, like, we really hit the ground running in June. It would be June where things are like, whoa, but you're going to start seeing it this month, then April, then May, because we're out of those retrogrades, and then all the planets that just went direct, right? Mars going direct, even Jupiter going direct last month. When they go direct, they're going slow. So it's still, and in March, Jupiter's not very active, right? Jupiter did conjunct the moon last, I think it was last, excuse me, last weekend. That was really great. Jupiter ascending. Anyway, y'all. The other thing I was gonna. Oh yeah. So like predictions. So the energies of the moment. You're gonna start feeling things pick up. You're gonna start feeling things pick up and pick up and pick up, and that's great. Especially again with the Sun trine Mars. That's really great, refreshing energy. Remember, the sun is like a life force. It's your life force. It's what gives everything life. And Mars is all about action, your passions, and it's energy. It's energy. So it's really great. And it's part of a cycle I'll talk about later. But okay, back to the prediction. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to say that there's still there. I picked up on, like, there may be some changes with food. We may hear something about food, like food processing, like at a food processing plant. Yeah, and there still is going to be there's just going to be like finance stuff, and there I think I mentioned this, that there's still going to be some really big water event. There's still going to be a big water event to just keep your eyes out for and I'm going to keep it light and just say water event. Okay, you're going to know what it is when I say that, or like. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that I wrote down that I was like, I don't know if it's it. You'll know when you know. You'll know when you know. But we are remember, eclipses, things change. Everything changes. Everything changes. But I remember, it's not just the astrology. It's like, it's me being, picking up on these energies, me channeling. I've been getting, well, before I got like sick again, a lot more like clairaudio. I don't know if y'all know, like what clairvoyance is. So hearing things too, and so there's just like a lot going on. But just remember, also we're still at solar maximum with the solar cycles, like the Schumann's resonance. It's strong. Remember, there were so many CMEs, right? Where the solar flares that we've been going through, and we're still at peak maximum. And I think that it's going to really peak over the summer as well. Well, especially because it's the summer. But remember, it affects our bioelectric field, our magnetic field. Like we all have like an electromagnetic field, but it affects us. Remember, it affects the Schumann's resonance. Earth has energy. It has a vibration. It has what I call, a heartbeat. And so it's all, we're still there. We're still there. So just keep that in mind, okay? Because that can also have an impact on you. And when it's strong, is strong. I'm going to show, actually, have y'all seen, I'm going to show you something here. I think this is going to, let me give you a visual because of Neptune, being very active too. I hope you're working on your vision boards. Very visual time, but let me just show you real quick. If you've never seen it before, I think this is going to give you a really good idea, okay, of what I'm talking about. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, so let me say, there it is. Let me see. Okay, can you see this? Can y'all see that? So this measures, this is like I'm not going to get too into it, but this is in real time, the Schumann's resonance. And so you can see what was that, March 6th, 7th, 8th. So it's daily. It's constantly measuring the frequencies of Earth based on, and a lot of it is impacted by the solar storms that we have, just a whole bunch of things. I won't go into it. Look at yesterday. So when you see all this white, green is normal, green and blue is pretty normal. When you see those white spikes, look at yesterday. Whoa, that's big. And so when I say it's been off the charts, Earth's frequency, it's been off the charts. This is nothing compared to some of the ones that we've seen, but this is just typically abnormal. And we're going through this right now, this year. Okay. And so this is when I think I mentioned this, a lot of this impacts you as human beings, as does the moon, as does astrology, as does everything, right? Like energy, everything's energy. And so when you see a lot of white like this, when you see these spikes like this, that can impact everything, intuition, your intuition heightened, everything, like sleep cycles, a lot of that. Okay. And so it's not just astrology that I look at. It's everything. It's everything, and tarot and whatnot. But so now and so yeah. Remember, I said that it can also be very draining, especially if when it fluctuates, it can be draining. When you throw in like Mars retrograde that we went through on top of that, that's really amplifies that energy, fatigue. You could feel a little bit moody, but when these electric currents of our ionosphere impact the electromagnetic sphere or anything that's conducive, 99% of the world is plasma. I'm not gonna even get into it, but just know that we're still at solar maximum. The other thing that remember, I did mention coyote. I hope y'all still remember that. Okay, so keep that in mind especially this month, because there's going to be changes with the eclipses. We have the 2 retrogrades with Mercury going retrograde soon, and a lot of really strong Neptune aspects. Remember, Neptune is the lower expressions can be illusion, delusion, Miscommunication is a big thing with Mercury retrograde. Misinformation. Jupiter's going faster, faster very soon. Yeah, Jupiter's in Gemini, which is all about information. It can be too much information. It can be like, whoa, right? So there's going to be a lot of misinformation. There's going to be a lot of things said that may be taken back. There may be things said from the past that are going to be brought up again in a different way. Just remember, at the end of the day, you just want to trust your intuition. And when I say that, it's like anything that you read, because there is so much information, right? Online, social media. It's your intuition. You've got to trust your intuition on whether, like, is this actually true? Is this accurate? Is this fact check? Because it's just so bonkers. Remember, we're at a time where AI is really big, where there's a lot of bots out there. So just trust your intuition. You're going to be fine. And things are going to be resurfacing from the past. Okay. And just know that you can't believe everything you hear. And I feel that a lot of y'all know what I may be talking about too. Like, there's some things that people may have said that were just completely not accurate, things like that. But that's going to happen in your like personal lives as well, with the retrogrades, with Mercury retrograde going up too. Have you ever seen the movie Lost Boys? Did you see that movie from the 80s? It was that vampire movie with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman and Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know if you remember that movie, but it was like all these vampires were after these kids, and they was like, yeah, kill the head vampire who's controlling everything. But it wasn't that head vampire; it was the one behind the scenes. So there's going to be a lot. So that's kind of like what's going on. Anyway, just putting it out there. You just really want to trust your intuition, and please, remember I talked about polarities last time. It's like, let's not look at things like left and right. Let's not do that. We got to, it's always going to be that way if we continue to see things that way. So we want to meet in the middle. It's kind of like, have you heard of, like flow state? Have you heard of flow state? Like your brain coherence, you have the left hemisphere, you have the right hemisphere, right? And there's something called hemisync. And, your left brain is all, analytical, right? It's the analytical part. The right brain is creative, etc. When they sync up, oh my goodness, it hits like right here at your pineal gland. It's just everything. And you can do this by like meditating. You can do this by even listening to, I forget, but like binaural beats, where if you put on headphones and you have one frequency here and another frequency here, a different one, your brain kind of just, but anyway, it's all about meeting in the middle. That's all I'm saying. Temperance card. Yeah. And then with Pluto, that's going to be very active very soon too, with the eclipses. During the eclipses, there could be just, some revelations. Pluto is, revolution as well. So you can have these revolutionary parts of your life. Like you're going deep and you're definitely moving forward. All right. And it can just be very, psychological as well. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Okay. And I want you to remember that Mars in Cancer can we talk about how fast time is speeding up? I've talked about this. I remember Mars moved into Cancer back in September. Do you remember? I feel like I just told y'all Mars is moving into Cancer, and it's going to do this flip flop going through Cancer, Leo, but like retrograde. It's going to be a strange time from September forward. Anyway, Mars is finally direct, thankfully. And Mars usually takes like average 2 months to go through a sign. This has been and Mars has been out of bounds outside the ecliptic, right? So physically, and so he's just been like, So has anybody felt a lot of that? So what does that mean? So Mars in Cancer is just very protective energy, but it's also, I've told you about this. Like, he does not like being a Cancer. emotions. People can feel a lot more sensitive about things. You throw in the retrogrades that's about to happen too. That yeah, eclipses that's about to happen. Yeah. So trust your intuition, stay frosty, be cool. You're going to be fine. Just continue to focus on you, your dreams, what you want moving forward, because I'm going to talk about this. A lot of great things are happening. But Mars is very, it's martial, right? So very masculine energy. It's going to be moving. And that's why in Cancer is such a feminine sign. But remember this year, everything's moving into fire and air. And Mars, what is it? March 8th. Mars is going to move into Leo next month. That's going to be like whoosh. So things are going to be like, so this is a month where things happen. April is when like woo. Okay. I think March is only moving like 6 degrees this month. I mean, it's not, yeah. And you're really going to feel the impact of Venus and Mercury retrograde, because that's a double retrograde, and that starts next week. And I'm just letting you know to prepare that sometimes we can get a little frustrated with Mercury retrograde, but throw in Venus retrograde on top of that, throw in Mars and Cancer on top of that. You've seen on TV tempers flaring. That's Mars and Cancer, but again, you may see it this weekend with Mars conjuncting the moon. Anyway, excuse me. I think that's, what day is today? Oh, remember when, and so Mercury also moving over Neptune, conjuncted Neptune last week. Did y'all watch the Oscars? Wow. So I want you to think of that. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces, conjuncting Saturn, conjuncting like a million planets. But just keep in mind, the North Node is in Pisces. And I feel like, the fact that, and I brought this up, and I think in Pisces, yeah, so listen, who watched the Oscars? I don't want to spoil, well, it's already out. But Sean Baker won Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Movie of 2025, Best everything, like so many awards. He made history, and he's a Pisces. And I think he's like, I have it written down. I got to pull up his chart, but he's like Pisces, moon, Pisces, like everything Pisces. I think Pisces midheaven, everything Pisces, which remember is so very artistic. It's dreamy. It's all of that. But just think of that, like that energy of just like, dreaming big. I always say dream big. Okay. And so just kind of just use that if you ever feel, because there's the energies this month are going to be a little, just remember, Jimmy said, think about Sean Baker, who's a Pisces and cleaned out the awards for the Oscar season with his movie Honora, which was actually, it was amazing. I loved it. I loved that movie. The ending. I've seen every single movie that Sean Baker has made. My favorites like the Florida Project. I don't know if y'all saw that. Oh my goodness, that was my favorite. Okay, so but also, what I was gonna say that's really funny is that Adrian Brody, do you remember when he had, well, I think a lot of headlines was like he had the longest speech in Oscars history, and I was watching his speech, and I was like, none of it's making sense. Like, what is he talking about? And so I looked up his chart. He has Mercury in Pisces. And of course, the Oscars was the day that Neptune conjuncted his Mercury. And it's so funny because that's what I'm saying is like, it can be a little like out there, like far out, right? Especially with the things that you're thinking and saying. And I was like, you're just like, what? Just look at a speech if you haven't seen it. It's really funny. So anyway, my point is that we're at a time where this month is going to be really big. And if you feel, a little confused, uncertain, unsure, all of that, set intentions. You're about to have some big changes. And it's okay if you feel like, what is going on right now? Because of these eclipses, they're going to reveal a lot. They're going to set you up on this path that you need to be on. And so just expect a lot of changes. And I think I showed you last time, how to see like how big of an impact the eclipses are going to have on you, right? So it's always really great to just kind of know ahead. And that's in my last live stream. If you're watching this and you didn't see it, um, how to tell with the sun and moon and the eclipses. Like this eclipse in Virgo that's coming up, actually. It's gonna be on my like literally like my moon's on my south node and my and the moon's on my south node and my south node is on my moon. I mean, it's like there's definitely going to be something with like the moon is like mother, female figure, strong female authority, things like that. So I already know there's going to be something like it's a south node. It's like letting go. It's like, okay, so there's going to be someone in my life that I'm, may not see. And anyway, but I already have an idea. It's like a colleague that I really, anyway, just know it's going to be a big eclipse. Okay. And I want you to just visualize, please. I can't even begin to tell you how strong, important it is. Listen, well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you now because I started your forecast and I talked about visualization. Remember, we do have a Neptune Cazimi coming up, the Sun conjuncting Neptune. That's strong. That's going to be the day of the it's a day. I think it's a day before the equinox. Okay, on the 19th. And so this entire month with Neptune being at that 29-degree point, Neptune moving on the 0-degree point, moving into Aries this month, the first time in 164 years. Please take advantage. Neptune is very visual. It's very artistic. Please work on your vision boards. I'll give you a really good reason why. Okay. And even if you're not doing your vision boards, visualize it in your head at where you want to be. What is your goal? What is your end game? What is your legacy? What is your, finish line? Picture yourself there. Picture yourself there. Having it. Put yourself on that timeline, on that reality, something that that you feel in your bones. Like that's going to happen. It will happen. Thank you, universe, for putting me on this timeline where this is going to happen. And do it in a way where it's like you get excited about it, right? So that's why you want to just try it all the time. Practice it to the point where you get really, really excited, where it doesn't feel like an assignment. I think I talked about this last time, but it's all up here. It's all up here. Remember, your thoughts send out an electrical signal, an electrical charge in the quantum field. Everything is energy. Remember, we know that's quantum physics. Albert Einstein, I said this in your forecast, match the frequency of the reality you want. You can't help but get that reality, okay? Your feelings, a magnetic field. Your thoughts and feelings are connected. So send out those signals. Send out those signals, okay? And when I say that, remember, high frequency, all right? So nothing based out of like low energy frequencies. Look at Ruby waking up. So nothing based out of low energy frequencies like, fear or anger. Like if you're saying like, oh, universe, I haven't got this yet. That's not going to work. I really wanted this. It hasn't happened yet. So let's make that happen. No, that's low energy, right? Or, universe, I'm so afraid of this and I just don't want this in my life anymore. That's not going to work because that's based out of fear. Remember, it has to be that confidence. It has to be that confidence, that high energy. It's like joy, it's serenity. Okay. And that's what puts you there. That's what gets you what you want. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Ruby's wait. I gotta pick her up for a second because I gotta put her on the carpeted thing you see over there because she still can't. Okay, Ruby, come here. Good girl, baby. How are y'all doing? Okay, so let's and I'm hoping to, and I am like getting in the habit of a lot of the questions that y'all leave in the comments. I love hearing from y'all, but I'm getting the habit of like bringing some stuff up in these live streams so I can answer them. Remember this eclipse that's coming up, please prepare. It's a big one. Okay, It's all about letting go. Things can be eclipsed from your life. There's a lot of big energies. The sun conjuncting Saturn as well at the same time is strong. It's strong. It's a strong eclipse. There's so much happening at the same time. Um, all the energy that's happening in Pisces, which is very spiritual, it's very emotional. But then you've got an eclipse in Virgo that's very analytical. Like, what has got to, like, right? And we're talking about Virgo, the Hermit card, right? So really going within. And then we're with Saturn and the sun in the mix, right? The sun card, Saturn is the world card, right? You're coming to the end of something. You're coming to the end of something. This is a lunar eclipse that was, the sun's conjuncting Saturn. Neptune is in the mix. That's the Hanged Man. Remember, that's all about surrender, making those sacrifices, right? So everything, the moon card attributed to Pisces. You got 5 planets in Pisces. It's a lunar eclipse of the moon. It's big. So all of those cards combined, that's a big letting go. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Let me look at some of your questions here. Let me pull it up. And I pulled up some, oh gosh, wait, what did I do? There we go. Okay. I'm still used to this platform. Okay. Alyssa, let me just see. You said, oh, I think that you just have the coordinates wrong. Yeah. If you're born March 4th, you're a Pisces. So I think that you just typed something in wrong. There was a typo. Okay. Good afternoon. Rachel from Scotland. Oh, I love Scotland. Are you watching The Traitors? I don't know why I watch it. No, I do. I like psychological shows. So that's in Scotland. Ruby's coming back. Carrie from Cape Town. I love it. I've been to Table Mountain. That was so much fun. Y'all, it's so great to see everyone. This is really hello, Marshall. It is wonderful. Y'all, remember daylight savings tomorrow. We're pushing an hour. It's spring forward. If that's like a thing in your country. Karine from Quebec. I love that. And here's the thing, I was thinking about this the other day. Remember also back in August, I was saying that someone in Toronto was going to make a big announcement. And it was, I connected it with the, CEO of the TD Bank in Canada. I honestly think it was like Justin, what's his name? The guy, the minister, Justin Trudeau. I know Trudeau. Is that right? Yeah, because he made that announcement that he was stepping down, and it was in Ottawa, like outside of Toronto. Happy International Women's Day from the Pacific. Hannah, yes, please. This is such a great. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Heather. You got a big project coming up in 2 weeks. That's great, y'all. I love it. You feel better. You love watching my video. I love that you are. I'm glad that I can be that support. And that's the thing. I just want to, it's just like, I'm here for you. Cindy, oh my goodness, thank you so much. You're amazing. Y'all are so amazing. I love this name, Sugar Hooker 365. When you use the word reset, is it the same thing as when I am talking about the reset? Yes. Okay. M. Lopez. So when we see change in finances, when will we see change in finances? And this is for the betterment, right? Well, it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be a transition. And yes, it's going to be this year that you're going to start just seeing those adjustments. Okay. And remember, like I said, Pluto breaks things down to break for that breakthrough. So sometimes, like with those breakdowns, like it can be a little like, oh, what's going on? But then you have the, and Pluto, remember, is a 19-year process. So it's just getting started. Thank you so much. Also, M. Lopez for the $10. Y'all are amazing. Hannah, underwater UFOs, yes. Yes. Underwater UFOs are a thing. And it's, and it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Are you bringing up one of my predictions? So I talked about that too, underwater UFOs, a couple times. It is such a thing that some people are, it's so funny that everyone associates like UFOs with the sky. That's what we do, right? We look at you see the videos that go viral, UFOs come from the sky, from outer space. Well, we only know 5% of our oceans. Can you believe that? Like, we live on a planet where we only know 5% of our planet's like oceans. So yeah, there's, yes. And there's a lot of like, yeah, like I think that you're gonna start hearing a lot more of military stuff. Okay. And like bases and stuff underwater. Okay, great. Now, Carrie, you said, Carrie, you're Virgo with Cancer Moon, Aries rising. Look at you. Your finances are taking massive knock. I'm cutting down on expenses. Should be looking for new employment though. How bad are these finance energies? That's a really great question. Again, it's just going to be some adjustment. So this is really, it's such a like, everyone has different situations and circumstances. And so it's really what makes the most sense for you. So I can't I'm wondering if your questions are based out of what's going on, or is it intuitive? Are you feeling it intuitive? Because if you're not feeling it intuitively, then you have nothing to worry about. If that's your brain just being like, whoa, that like this is happening in my physical world, then you got to just, there's got to be changes. There's got to be changes with the eclipses. So with the fact that Mercury, Venus, retrograde, same time, we got the eclipses, we have Sun conjunct Saturn. I mean, that's, by the way, the last Saturn Cazimi that we are going to have in Pisces in our lifetime. There's going to be changes. And so that's what I'm saying, is that it starts now. And I'm just giving you a heads up that, I mean, you see the news, like even with like, when was the last time that there were massive layoffs at the IRS and they're talking about like getting rid of the entire, when was the last time? That never. So when I say things are going to start changing, So we're only technically a month into 2025 because January did not count. Remember, January did not count. So you're going to start seeing things, and there's going to be changes. So I want to remind you, change is the only constant in this world. When you are trusting your intuition, when you are, remember the 4 C's I said, I've said this so many times, the 4 C's of 2025, the collective, community, which, by the way, start getting to know your neighbors, like community, foster, like Pluto in Aquarius is all about the masses and community, and right? Consciousness, that's what the North Node in Pisces is doing right now. It's expanding your consciousness, okay? And courage, yeah? And so just being strong about these things. But yeah, if you feel it in your bones or gut to look for new employment, I honestly just be open-minded. And this is for everybody. If you have big questions about, if, like I just said, literally 10 minutes ago, if you feel uncertain, unsure, or anything like that happening right now, ride out this wave, because these eclipses, they're not like new moons, full moons, where you can, like, let's say a new moon, like you set intentions, this direction I want to go, things like that. The eclipses, they don't care. They're like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that. And every sign feels it differently. But again, look at the last live stream I did. Is it going to have a big impact on you? If it isn't, you're fine. You're gonna be, maybe you'll have like tiny, like maybe not even any. I've gone through some eclipses where it's just like a wave that you're riding for 6 months. Remember, there's 6-month cycles. But then I've had some eclipses where right on the day, whoa, like big changes. But when look at the last live stream, because I show you how to see what eclipses, what new moons, what full moons of the entire year will have the most impact on you based on your birth chart. Okay. But if you're Virgo and Aries rising, you're going to be fine. Yeah, you're going to have big changes. You're going to be fine. And you'll see in April and May and June. Yeah. Okay, so ND4 was not to pry, but hope your AC didn't make you sick. Need to be so careful of I don't have the AC I take out over the winter, but thank you. I put it back in. You'll see it when it gets really hot in New York City. Good morning, Jean. Great to see you, Jean, in Vegas. Jean, y'all, she just launched a business. We're very excited for Jean. Very, very excited. Yeah, ND4 Coyote Trickster. That's what I'm saying. Coyote. Just again, there may be some things where you're gonna just hear and you just have to are you gonna trust your intuition? Are you going to, again, a lot of things that you're gonna see are gonna be just misleading, especially when Mercury goes retrograde. So Jackie, you said you're in Aries with Cancer rising. Was happening April 4th. Oh, your birthday's April 4th. Yeah. Oh, that's a big day. Ooh, that's a big day. You can expect some big changes on April 4th. And I'll let you know when I do your forecast. There's a lot of big aspects that happen April 4th, but we come out of the eclipse, that's happening at the end of March, the new moon solar eclipse. So yeah, everyone's going to be going through changes and feeling those changes definitely the first week. Okay. So yes. All right. So, okay. So let me just, okay. Oh, Greg, you said Tangerine. Yeah, that was great. That was the first one I saw. I think that was one of his major ones. Lori said Adrian's speech was really good. So is Kieran's. Yes. I think that I talked about this in some of your, I don't want to give away. I don't want to say the same thing that I said in your forecast, but I think it bears repeating that a lot of the people that won Oscars, well, just the one that I looked at some of their charts, they all had Pisces somewhere in their charts. Like I said, it's all North Node and Pisces is a big deal. It is a big deal. Kieran Culkin has a Pisces moon, and you can tell with him. You can tell he has a Pisces moon. Well, I can. Sean Baker, Pisces moon. Mikey Madison also had Mercury and Pisces. Mid trines are mid. I mean, of course she was going to win. She's also Aquarius rising. And she's an Aries. There was actually, she's an Aries. Adrian Brody's an Aries. I mean, Aries, it's her time. It's her time. Okay. All right, so let me get back to what was I saying here? Oh, was I talking about one thing that a lot of people were asking about, and I think I talked about this last time a little bit, but remember the moon cycles, and that's why in your second spread I really focus on the lunar cycles, especially if there's just a big aspect. Because sometimes the lunar cycles are going to have more impact on you than the planetary aspects, right? The lunar aspects. And one thing about that is that, you know, the sky tells the time of the day. The moon has always really told the month. And so remember March 19th, is it March 19th, March 20th is the equinox. It's when the year began, right? It's always, you know, I don't know if y'all know this, but the calendar year has always started in March at the equinox. Okay, our calendar system has been tinkered with so much. The ancients, every ancient civilization, they didn't use a solar cycle based calendar. It was a moon cycle based calendar. It made a lot more sense. That's how big it is. Think about the phases of the moon. Everything was based on the moon. And, you know, like I said, we got all our wisdom from the ancients. They knew what they were doing. And then the Romans, even the Romans, the ancient Romans did too. Yeah. But then Julius Caesar came in and said, like, no, rah, rah, rah. And then the Pope, Pope Gregory, there was a Pope in the 1500s who was in like, no, we're going to do this. Oh, Pope Gregory. Yeah. Because Gregorian calendar is what we use now. But because it's changed, been tinkered with so much, we don't even know what year we're in. And so by default, I always just want you to remember that it's always March that the year really begins. I mean, when does everything grow? When does everything come to life? It's March. Every ancient, and this is the thing. It wasn't until, and there were so many countries when they were adjusting to these new calendar systems, they literally lost entire days. So like England, for instance, let's say it was like April 3rd, because of the adjustment, the next day would be April 14th for them. They lost because they had to adjust to these calendar systems. It's really funny. It's really crazy. But what I was gonna say is that how crazy is it? Does anybody know? Okay, why don't I ask y'all? Raise your hand if you know what. Oh, you know what? You're gonna Google it or AI. I'll just tell you. Okay, why don't I just ask? Tell me if you know when did we start using the calendar with January as the first month? What year did we start that? Anybody know? I don't know. I don't know why anyone would know off the top of their head. I can hear you tapping away. 1752. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That's what 200, not even 250, that's 250 years ago. It's right before Pluto moved into Aquarius. It's right before you know, the signing of our country, the Declaration of Independence. How crazy is that? Because in the bigger scheme of things, when you think about like human history, the year started in March for thousands of years until 250 years ago. So that's kind of crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. 1752. And yes, it was a lot of cultures, ancient cultures did have a 13-month calendar system. Until Julius Caesar came in and said, no, we're going to do the whole solar thing. But that was like 45 BC. It was around his time. Okay, so, but I just want you to know that's how big of a deal that the year starts in March. It's always started in March when things come to life, when things are spring, so crazy to think that 1752 is when we started using January as the beginning of the new year. Anyway, let's get back to okay, so talking about these eclipses. Does anybody have any questions? One of the things I really wanted to just tell you was like these eclipses are going to be really strong. Expect changes to happen in your life. They can be subtle, they can be big, they can be depending on your charts or whatnot. But remember, you want to really take action in terms of raising your frequency. Yeah, because there's some really big, uh, planetary aspects that are happening that week, next week, with the sun conjuncting Saturn. Again, that's the last one of our lifetime. It's so crazy to think of, the one in Pisces. And so when you think about the fact, I said 7 was like a really big, it's associated with the day of the eclipse. 7 is, just think about the south node of the moon. Like it's 7 is such a big, I told you it's a big spiritual number. We have 7 our energy centers. Let them vibrate. Let your chakras, okay, do that chakra work. Feel centered. It's all about just your focused attention, okay, and visualize your chakras, the color of the chakras. If you need to get to the root of anything, it's a good week because you're going to be unrooting things. Yeah, with the Virgo eclipse coming up in Virgo, the lunar eclipse. And you can even ask yourself questions, write them down, say them aloud. Like I feel protected when this happens, or I feel rooted when when I do this. Okay. And because excuse me, because it is a lunar eclipse, and it can be like, emotions can be really heightened around this time with Mars as well in the picture, and the eclipse opposite this, Saturn and the sun. You can even ask yourself, like, I feel like I can't do this because like fill in the blanks, right? And then take some time looking at the blanks. So how can you shift that to this super conscious perspective, okay, where you can do something, where you're not getting in your own way, because there is going to be a lot of healing. I talk a lot about this after the eclipse. It really is still a really strong week of healing, the week after the eclipse with the equinox, all about that self-healing. So you have that self-love, so you really go deep. Maybe you have to or want to do some shadow work, and flip the script, okay? Just whatever blockages you feel, work on those. What is there anything that is getting you really like wound up, like really angry, like like what can we do to flip the script? Okay, like for instance, okay, let's say that you don't get along with your boss. Well, let's say who doesn't, like, let's say you don't get along with your boss and you're just like, and they did something that was really, and you just like, it's been weeks and you're just like, this is really like, you're just not happy. Okay. They're, maybe being really hard on you or did something. Okay. Let's say they're just always hard on you. What do you think would happen if every time your boss came around, of course you're gonna, because you're angry and not, and like you're just like, you get that body language, right? What do you think would happen if you came into the office one day and you gave your boss a thank you card, right? Or took your boss out to lunch? How do you think that is going to, that's going to flip the script, right? So we're throwing ego out the door, any sort of low frequency energy, everything about your boss, because they could be, on autopilot on the subconscious level, just like, and then they get this really nice thing. They get this really nice thing from you. That changes everything. That changes the script. Okay. And even if they, and it eases that relationship, but even if they are, if nothing changes, at least you did your best. You did your best. You were the better person in the situation. You're vibrating at this high frequency. The universe is going to reward you. You're on a karmic journey. So, go deep. Don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to make your own affirmations as well. A lot of this can be hard to do. Our egos are always getting in the way, right? And so this is a testament to how amazing you are and amazing you can be in situations. Compliment someone every day. I do that every day. I compliment someone every day. It feeds your soul. You are spreading that energy. Okay, this high vibration frequency. I do that. I have, like my friends' birthdays, like a lot of them, I have them, when they pop up in your phone or whatever. You can you can schedule texts. I don't know if you can do it on, like I have a Samsung, but you can do it on a Samsung, and I'll schedule it so they're the first one to get my text in the morning for their birthday. Give yourself, like, have fun, okay? Why don't you, and another thing that really helps, remember, I'm talking about visualization here, and this is key. It's key. I want it to be a big takeaway. Maybe even write down 5 things that bring you so much joy, and give yourself permission to have that, for the week. Like nothing else matters. Like this is going to bring me joy. That's going to raise my frequency. This is your evolutionary growth. The North Node in Pisces is your mission statement too. And so remember, we're only here for a short period of time. You got one life to live. You want to live it. You want to live large. You want to live big. Don't let these small things that like bring you down. Why would you do that? Why don't you do this? Think of your life path as a Wikipedia page. What do you want to be on that page? What do you want to be recognized for? Who you want to be recognized for? The things that you did, things that you accomplished, all of that. So yeah, and remember, the more that you're vibrating this high frequency, which again, it's enlightenment, it's love, it's compassion, it's everything that makes us human. It's being in the moment, being self-aware, being in the moment, okay? Being in the moment. You are going to get those winks from the universe, those synchronicities. Everything's going to align. You're going to see it. You're going to know that you're on the right path. You're going to just know that the universe is on your side. It's like saying, yeah, don't worry. I didn't forget about you. I didn't forget about you. I'm here. You don't have to worry. You don't have to. One of the reasons I'm harping on this is because it's a lunar eclipse in Virgo. I talked about this. Virgo, it's a lunar eclipse, so we're getting rid of any of that perfectionism, any of that anxiety, any worry, any like of those, right? Because that's, Virgo, Mercury, Virgo rules like the nervous system, the digestive system. I talked about this. Like it's just, so we want to start, and I talked about that healthcare. There's gonna be some big healthcare news anyway. And yeah, remember, and this is a cycle, so we're kicking off next week with the eclipse. Needs to come out. So, does anybody have any questions before I get into this Sun trine Mars that's happening today and what to look forward to? Where are we at? Okay. I don't know. I don't know where. Okay, so yeah, that's okay, so I think we're here. Oh wait, Carrie, did you wait, Marshall? Oh, you did. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, you wrote 1752 started our new calendar You wrote that before I said it. It's a big. That's You are psychic. Look at you. Did you see the telepathy tapes? Telepathy. Oh my goodness, I'm just all over the place today. The telepathy tapes. Or I'm sorry, listen to them. Y'all, that's what we're moving into. That's what I'm talking about. Consciousness, but also this whole spiritual ascension, spiritual awakening. And we're going to talk about this when Neptune moves into Aries. Like, ooh, it's a thing. It's a thing. Conjuncting Saturn, come on, that's big. Moving in with Saturn. Okay. Oh, Marshall, you said you heard me ask the question. Okay. All right. You know what? That's what I'm doing. I'm lagging too much on the okay, so okay, does so and any questions? Atlas, you said back in the day, I would write everyone's birthday in my calendar and memorize them. Then I'd call it and wish them happy birthday. It's a person felt good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, it's perfect. It's great. It's something that it takes 1 second. It takes 1 second. And then think about you on your birthday. Like if you don't get any like right? Like think about when you get all those texts and emails and phone calls, it makes you feel really good. So that one tiny, tiny thing that you're doing for somebody, a friend, whoever it is, saying happy birthday, and have a great day, like whatever it is, that's gonna make their day. And then we get enough of that happening in the world that raises everybody's frequencies. So you see how it works. You see how it works. Okay. Oh, Jean, thank you so much. You're amazing. I'm sorry. I'm already losing my voice. Lori, you're Jean, thank you. I really appreciate it. Lori, so what does Chiron and Pisces mean? That's where you're well, you gotta look at your chart. It's gotta, it's good to look at what house it's in, but that's like Chiron is a wounded healer. Chiron I talked more about in the second spreads. Oh my gosh. By the way, this is my 3-year anniversary of launching this channel. So I'm going to tell you right now. I talk about this in some of your forecasts. The 3-year anniversary of me launching this channel is the last week of March. And again, because of that, I really wanted to do something. Did I already tell y'all? This is what happens when I'm a little under the weather. But the reason I'm telling you this, and Aquarius is, of course, I tell them this in their weekly forecast. I think in the second spread, but remember, Aries is the beginning. We're leaving all this Pisces energy, okay? The North Node is going to be Pisces, but remember, we're straddling that 0-degree point between Pisces and Aries. So what does that mean? We're moving all into this. Pisces is very feminine. Aries is a masculine. It's a lot more masculine. It's ruled by Mars, very martial, very masculine. Everything is moving into Aries. Remember, Saturn's leaving Pisces. Neptune's leaving Pisces. They're all moving into Aries. You got Venus, Mercury. Like we're going to have a lot of Aries energy. And Aries is, when we hit the spring equinox, that's the sun in Aries. The sun is exalted in Aries. And so Aries being the beginning, being the entrepreneur, being very pioneering, it doesn't matter what sign you are. It has nothing. It's always a good idea to try something new, to launch something new, to do something new, something pioneering, something entrepreneurial. Okay. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when I started my channel, I planned it at the new moon in Aries, because I also knew that was the year that Jupiter was moving into Aries. And so that's why you want to use these I always say use these aspects, use these planets. Don't let them use you. Um okay, y'all. Oh, Hawaii. Kekuhi. I love your I love your name. I can't pronounce it. Kekuhi. I love that. Oh, ND4, thank you so much from Canada. I don't know if I told you, I used to live in Canada for just a little bit after college. Rachel, Craig, you need time off. I do. Thank you so much. And I've seen a lot of your messages. I think a lot of y'all notice when I am like under the weather, but I always feel like I can't, it's just like I have to like do things, and I do rest. You know, I pace them out throughout the week. So it's not like I do a whole bunch at one time. I mean, this week I did have to a little bit, but so yeah. Cindy, you asked, can you talk about someone's whose moon is in Virgo for the eclipse? My Libran daughter. Moon. Oh, your Libran daughter's moon is in Virgo for the eclipse. Yeah, look at last week's forecast. Plug in her date if you want to look. Yeah. And you can do it on AstroSeek. That's Astro-Seek. Okay, that's gonna tell you. All right. Oh, y'all, thank you, Jean. Thank you so much. Happy anniversary. Congrats. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much, everyone, y'all. It's been such a long, I can't believe it's been 3 years. Tammy, thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, y'all are amazing. Listen, this is, yeah, I want to do something. Oh, Kekuhi, thank you so much. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you for the $20. I I really wanted to do something like different and like special extra for y'all. I just need to get better, and we'll see. Like, hopefully by the end of the month, I will be able to. And if I don't go to Florida, if I don't, because that's just like that takes an entire week, and then I have to do all 12 signs, like a week where I'm already doing 12 signs. So I have to do 24 videos that week. But because I do second spreads, 48 videos. So I just don't know if I would have that time on top of my job. So what I was going to say, let's end on this note. Today, Mars is trining is the sun. And as I already said, that's like a lot of amplified energy, and you're gonna feel it. It feels really good. It's Mars with the sun, and this cycle started November 2023. I don't know if you remember. I'm gonna show you. Maybe let me do that. Let me show you. Let me just show you what's gonna happen here. I think that's gonna give you a better idea. Okay, let me present, share screen. I really need to click that don't show this again button, but I don't know. Okay, so this is pretty much, oh, let me get rid of those. Okay, so you see right here, right? Mars and the Sun conjuncting, right? It's happening in Sagittarius. You can think about the Sagittarius placement in your chart, what that means for you, but it doesn't really matter. It's synodic cycle started November 2023. So look how tight they were. This was a Sun and Mars. This was a conjunction. This was a Mars Kazemi. And this is really big, and it's really strong. Okay. It's very, very, very strong. Again, remember, it is a lot of masculine energy. It's amplified energy. It's your drive. It's passion. The Sun is your willpower. It's your core, your identity, your ego, right? Vitality, health, all that. Mars is very assertive. This is action with the Sun. This really strong will. And this is when your ambitions are really heightened. And so I told you, for this weekend, now we're almost halfway through the cycle with the sun trine Mars, and that's a turning point. And where were you November 2023? Think about like around that week, or, Thanksgiving, around that time. What was just happening in your life around that time? You can think about the Mars area of your chart. You can think about Mars, or the Sagittarius area, even Scorpio, because it technically, this was the conjunction right here, right? So if you pull it back, a couple hours, we're looking at the sun is conjuncting like Scorpio. You see that right there. But it doesn't really, it's really that 0-1 degree point is right. You can see that right there, right? November 22nd. And so it was building up to that November 23rd, and then, days after. And so, where am I here? November 23rd. But anyway, so what I'm going to show you now is today. Let me just move that. This is going to just be a lot easier for you to see if I. Now you see the sun trining Mars right here. Yeah. The sun in Pisces, Mars in Cancer. That's, again, look at your forecast and what I say for you for your forecast, because it is all about, that wanting to achieve, wanting to be successful, like really going after the things that you want, having that willpower. This is wonderful. Remember, the moon is going to be conjuncting Mars. It's how you use that aspect. It can be even more like, like I want this, that kind of energy, which is really nice. Now, I'm going to show you right here. Again, let me just, sorry. You can see when we get to January, look, you got the sun and Mars together again. And this is going to be in Capricorn. You can see, look at what's happening when we get to January 6th, by the way. Well, let me take away the asteroids. Again, we talk about the asteroids in the second spread. If you're a tier 3 member, feel free to join. If you're not, but you've got Mercury and Venus here as well. Mercury is going to be right there at that 16-degree point, which is big. But excuse me, it is, again, there's this new cycle. So you're coming to the end. So remember, I say everything is cyclical. And so the sun trine Mars today is very significant. It's very significant. I want you to feel that energy. And this is why a lot of y'all are going to feel it anyway. With the sun trining Mars today, you're going to feel that all weekend. And it's really nice. Right here, again, they're going to conjunct again, January 6th in Capricorn. All right. So if you're a Capricorn, or if you're any, if you have any planets in any planets in Capricorn or Aries or Libra or Cancer, this is going to be a big thing for you. Okay. Especially at that 16-degree, anything, within like 3 degrees, on either end, 3 or 4 degrees. Because it's all angular, right? It's going to square. It's going to do anyway. We'll talk about it when we get to January. But I thought what was really cool is when you, oh yeah, let me go by hour. Is it? No. When you go further, and so think about the Capricorn area of your charts, but you don't really have to. Again, just know that whatever you're putting that energy into, that is the sun, that's Mars. Where have you been putting it? That you're just going to feel alive. It's that, right? All weekend, this weekend. And then again, a new cycle starts with this Mars Cazimi. So I'm just going to show you. Am I going by day? Yeah, I'm going by day. Well, let me just do this one. Do you see that? Look at that. That's. Oh, by the time we get to look at all these planets in Aquarius, I mean, that's like a 5-planet conjunction there. You've got Mars, Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Isn't that crazy? When we get to Like I think it starts, like January 22nd of next year. And remember, time is speeding up. You're already feeling we're gonna be in January 26 before you know it. And then even actually, it's still tight. 10 degrees is fine. Whatever. It's like on my birthday on the January 28th, but I think that's really impressive because I think at a point you're going to see what I've been talking about, like with technology and with all this Aquarius energy, with Pluto at Aquarius. Like by that point, oh my goodness, you're going to see some things. Yes, outer space things, UAPs, technology, AI is going to be on a whole other level. It's big. It's big. So I kind of wanted to just share that with y'all. I was gonna go a lot deeper, but I didn't realize this was gonna go so long. But also I am losing my voice. I need another cough drop thing. But y'all, thank you so much. And again, this weekend, feel it. Feel that like willpower, that drive. The Sun trine Mars is so optimistic. It's that energy. It's it's a turning point, but again, for a lot of y'all, there's just going to be something new coming out of that cycle. Like again, think about what was happening around November 2023, and some of it just may be subtle, for y'all, but what was happening since then, I know that's a long way to think back, and I give all these points to think back a lot. So, but anyway, you've now got this live stream, but just know that this weekend is a great weekend for you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I sign out? I really should. Lori, you should do bulletproof points for us, the most important aspects of each sign. Go to Florida, get that vitamin D. Bulletproof. Oh, wait. Bullet points. Is that bullet points? Yeah, maybe I'll do that for tier 3 members. you're a tier 3 member. I'll do something. You're talking about like the big thing that I do for my anniversary. Again, like we'll see, like if I get better. Hopefully I can. I already spend, your videos are so long now. I spend like 16 to 18 hours a week on top of my job. So I'm gonna cut them. I have to cut them down. I just can't. Maybe that is why I keep getting sick. Oh, Carrie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Y'all are amazing. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for joining. I will see y'all soon, and I'll let y'all know if I have time to do something. Like I just don't know. And that's the thing. It's like you never really want to like plan anything like big around this time with the eclipses, with the Mercury retrograde coming up soon. But it's okay to like put things in order and plan next steps. But I'm talking about like doing a big trip and making a promise to y'all and things like that. Like right now, like I'm just like, I gotta wait. I'm sick. Y'all are amazing. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I will get some rest. I'm gonna go take a nap now. Well, actually, I gotta go take Ruby out. And I haven't eaten today yet. Y'all are amazing. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much. I listen. Happy eclipse. Happy eclipse week. Oh, if any of y'all live in New York City, I was asked back to the House of the Red Pearl. I will be talking about the eclipses for every sign. I'm going to go to every table. It's going to be really fun. I want to thank everybody that did come out last time. If you're in New York City, that, the Jean George, I'm doing, that thing with Jean George, which is it's super fun. It was so great meeting some of y'all. And y'all are just so amazing. And hopefully I'll see you again this week. And then, yes, I want y'all to just really, really spend time in nature. That really helps. Okay. Really, really helps. I actually have earthing mats. Do y'all have earthing mats? Every time I do your forecast, my feet are on earthing mats. I don't know if y'all know if that exists, but I'll leave. I have the link in the description box for all my signs if you want to see the one that I use. But that helps. It helps if you don't have time to, because when I say go outside and like put your feet in the ground, which is what you want to do, right? You want to like your bare feet. You want to be there for a time, right? Not just like a minute, 2 minutes. You want to really, and so that's why earthing mats help. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go. I talk way too much. Y'all are amazing. I will see you next. I'll see y'all next time, and hopefully I'll be able to do a thing. All right, y'all. All right. Thank you so much, y'all. Y'all are amazing. Oh my gosh, Jackie, thank you so much. You're amazing, Jackie. I really appreciate it. Y'all, I'm gonna start crying. Okay, I'm really gonna go, Jackie. I'm so thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. All right. Y'all, all right. I'm gonna go. I miss y'all already. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. I love y'all. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.